Hi guys, and welcome to part 9 of Skyrim Mod Sanctuary. I hope you guys had a great Christmas, and I hope you also have a great new year. Let's hope there's going to be lots and lots of great new Skyrim mods. Now I just got back, and I had no idea what mods I was going to cover for this video, but of course there's one mod that's completely storming the Nexus site at the moment, and that's the TESV acceleration layer, so I just have to cover this. Most of you've probably already even heard of it. Now this mod basically improves your performance, and that's all it does, and I mean it does improve it quite a lot. Now they're claiming it can boost up to 20 frames a second, and the reports are varying, but I'm going to show you the results I got with this mod. Now the mod is up to version 03 at this time, and they suggest if you want to test this, you go to the top step in Whiterun and look down towards the tree. It's one of the most CPU intensive parts of the game. It's the place where I get the lowest frame rate, so it's a very good choice. Now for the sake of this test, what I've done is reduced my settings to high settings. I normally run ultra, but I'm going to do it on high to make sure the graphics card isn't being pushed. That means it's more likely that the CPU is going to be my bottleneck, and I'll see exactly what this mod can do. Now I'm using Fraps to discover the frame rate, and the pictures you're going to see are taken obviously with Fraps recording video. Now the numbers I get when recording video are slightly lower, but I'm going to tell you the numbers I get without recording video, because that's most likely what you're going to get. My resolution is 1920 by 1080, and as I said, settings on high. Now as a baseline, I want to find out what my frame rate is under vanilla. Well, in this case it's with the FXAA post-process injector, which is what I run when taking these videos, and it's very similar performance to vanilla. In fact, it's identical. And the performance I get is 35 frames a second, which is very playable. And just so you know, I actually get almost identical frame rate when running it on ultra settings as well. It doesn't seem to make much difference on this step. I'm also going to test it with the Skyrim enhanced shaders. Now that's what I normally use when playing the game. It has great dark nights and very, very nice look and feel to it. But it does have a performance hit, and in this case I get 32 frames a second. So there's about a 3 frame difference. That's about a 10% performance hit. So not too bad, but there you notice it. So let's put the acceleration layer in and see what we get. Okay, well with the FXAA post-process injector and the acceleration layer, my frame rate has jumped to 46. That is an 11 frame jump. That is pretty massive. From 35 to 46, I've gained 11. Where this is looking at a sort of 33% increase in frame rate. That is very, very noticeable. That is very, very good. So what do we get when using the Skyrim enhanced shaders? Right, well we've gone from 32 to 40. So that's an 8 frame rate jump, and from 32, that is basically a 25% boost. So with either of those mods, I'm getting a massive frame rate boost. I mean, just running this one small mod, a massive performance boost. Now I tested a very early version of this mod and I had some small issues with it, so I thought I would test the latest version, version 03, before I gave a recommendation on it, and I've run it for hours and had no problems whatsoever. None. No problems, no crashes, nothing. It's been absolutely rock steady and the frame rate has been great. So I mean, I can highly recommend this mod. It is small, it's simple, and it gives you a performance boost. Now, it does require the SKSE mod, the Skyrim script extender. For those of you who don't know what that is, or don't know how to install it, see my video 7, which was about the Sky UI. I show you how to install it. And this mod is just yet another reason why you should run that. You should run your game from SKSE from now on. Any doubts you had, the TESV acceleration layer should completely lay them to rest. This mod, along with SKSE, will get you a performance boost. Installation of this mod is trivial. From the Nexus page you can download with the manager button. Very easy, just as normal, and once it's downloaded you activate. Now it doesn't add any textures or ESP files as usual. It's worth knowing what it actually adds. Very few mods add this type of file. If you go to your data folder under SKSE plugins, you'll find any files in here are SKSE plugins. So you can see here I've got one called the gibbed interface extensions, unless that's gibbed, not sure which, and that's actually for Sky UI. And then there's the tesval.dll. So that's where you'll find the script extender plugins, and that's the major difference with mods like this. But the installation process is identical for you. Obviously you will have to run the game from the SKSE launcher to get this. If you are not sure what I'm talking about, check video 7, check the Skyrim Mod Sanctuary Part 7 video. It will show you what to do. Now I do have quite a few other mods I was planning on showing you in this video, but I decided to split it into 2 separate videos because this mod is fairly unique and has such a great impact. It really does boost the performance so much that I want to get this out as fast as possible. On the subject of performance, if you are using an NVIDIA graphics card, you might want to download the latest beta drivers. They come with a performance boost to Skyrim. They claim up to about 25% in Ultra, and I'm only getting about 15%, but even 15%, that's a noticeable improvement. So it's definitely worth picking up. These drivers also include an option to add ambient occlusion to Skyrim, and for those of you who don't know what this is, it's basically a way of improving the shading so that objects that should be basically a little bit more in the shade, so for example underneath tables or at the base of walls, etc., where there should be a little bit more darkness, it adds those things. It gives it a lot more of a realistic feel. However, be aware it gives a massive performance drop, and I do mean massive. I was getting anywhere up to 30 to 40% performance drop. So there is a mid setting that gives you something in the middle, which is still pretty nice to look at, but again it's still 20% performance drop. So if you install these new drivers and use the ambient occlusion, you're probably going to find a tiny performance drop from what you were using before. But it will look better. They are definitely worth checking out if you've got the system to push it. I also set up a Twitter account. Now, I've not used Twitter before, so no idea exactly how I'll be using this, but I thought, for example, with announcements like the NVIDIA beta drivers, I could just Twitter that out and people could pick that up without needing to watch a video. You can find a link to it on the YouTube page, and feel free to follow that, and I will try to keep it up to date, for example, if I'm about to release a video or a mod update, etc. So it might be an easier way to follow things that I'm doing. I'm not totally sure. As I said, a little bit of a noob when it comes to Twitter. And that's it for this video. This mod is definitely worth checking out. If it gives you even close to the sort of performance boost it gave to me, it's going to go on your must-have mod list. I hope you found this video useful, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember, click the like button. I always appreciate that. Now, the next video is out in a couple of days' time, and I hope to see you there for that one. And until then, have fun.